Good evening, everybody, and on tonight's show we're going to be discussing all about man's so-called best friend. Yes, we'll be speaking all about dogs tonight with some great advice for dog owners, but there's more. We're also going to be looking at the reason why people sometimes prefer the company of dogs rather than another human being, sometimes even their own partner. So we're going to be learning some valuable lessons from our lovely friends. But first of all, let's speak to Bianca. Hello, darling.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, thank you, Chris.
Looking lovely tonight and glamorous.
Oh, thank you. How are you, Chris?
I'm very well.
And you look lovely too, by the way.
Thank you. You had to say that now because I gave you a compliment.
No, you do. You always look lovely, Chris. You do. Always look nice. What do you say?
Do you like dogs?
I do like dogs, yeah.
You have to say that because we have two around here somewhere. That's it. One's actually going to be joining us.
They'll probably sense
called
it
Truffle,
as well,
which is gorgeous.
They'll probably sense it if I'm lying anyways. My best friend's got 2 dogs, and so I've always been around dogs for quite a while. I've never had a dog myself, but I would like one. They're lovely animals.
We're going to learn from them tonight.
Yes, that would be nice, wouldn't it? We'll look forward to that. So this week it was a bit of a lucky week for someone. Chris Reynolds, who's 56 years old, became a quadrillionaire, a millionaire, a quadrillionaire, because of a PayPal error. So I know. So Chris normally uses PayPal for small transactions, but when he checked his latest statement, he found that he'd become the world's richest man on paper by accident.
So you didn't get any of the money?
No, so Chris from New York said, at first I thought I owed quadrillions, and he said, I'm a very reasonable guy.
Horrible. Why do you think you
I'm like,
got all that money?
What did I buy? What did I buy in that shopping spree last week? So he says that he's a very honest guy, and if he had that sort of money, he'd pay off the national debt first. And he'd also like to buy his favourite Major League Baseball team, the Philadelphia Phillies. Sadly, Chris's dream did come to an end when he checked his bank account next online. The money had all vanished. And he was left with not very much at the end of it. It's horrible, isn't it? I'm not sure how long it lasted, but what would you do, Chris, if you had that money in your bank? And it was there for no reason.
I'll check straight away with the bank if I could keep it.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't go unnoticed, does it? And then I'd spend it. What would I do with it? Come on.
I hope you'd call me, Chrissy. I want to be the first phone call.
All right.
We're going to Oxford Street.
Yeah. Oxford Street, we'll go there with that kind of money. I've got some of the best.
You'd probably book your first flight out of here or something then. You can't leave the Chrissy B Show though.
I couldn't, could I? No,
no,
it's true, yeah.
You'd have to just be like, just keep the money in. Like,
yeah. I'll buy some new sofas for the Chrissy B Show.
Yeah, that would be nice. Would you get a purple sofa?
I don't know. Yeah, get on with it.
I'm like purple. I'm dreaming. I'm carried away. So a PayPal spokesman said that the company would not discuss individual customers' accounts and for reasons of privacy, and will not comment on the matter. But they're not going to comment, are they? Anyway, it's their error.
Oops.
I know. Oopsie daisy. And next this week, a couple celebrated getting hitched by holding their wedding reception at their local McDonald's restaurant. Stephen and Emily Asher from Bristol paid £150 for their fast food feast, catering for their 33 guests. They described it as the happiest day of their lives, and the pair arrived in a stretch limo to Mackie D's store. And the 28-year-old groom washed down a chicken legend meal with a strawberry milkshake, and Emily, 21, toasted their wedding vows with a Coke and tucked into a chicken nugget meal. And also, this is funny as well, that McDonald's manager, because of the wedding, he gave them a celebratory champers, but he said that they couldn't drink it on the premises because of McDonald's ban on booze. So they had to save that for later on. And Stephen, the groom, says everyone enjoyed themselves and everybody loves McDonald's, don't they? Emily says, I did get quite a few stares from people in McDonald's, but I didn't care. It was my big day.
Oh, there were other people there as well. I thought they took out the whole...
No, they didn't even hire it or privately. They just had normal customers in there.
So they all queued up and everything?
Yeah, just all queued up as normal. And the reason behind it was that Stephen proposed after a string of burger-based dates. He took her to lots of burger places, and they wanted to keep it in the same sort of theme. So they thought, where better to do it?
Byron might have been nice instead.
What would have been nice?
Byron, somewhere like... Anyway, but McDonald's is McDonald's, and people love McDonald's. So I suppose if they loved it, didn't they?
Yeah.
So this is different. It's something to talk about.
And at least they saved a bit of money, so maybe they were on a budget.
Yeah, it's true.
And also,
it doesn't really matter, does it, where you have your weddings, as long as you're with the one that you want to marry?
But I wouldn't really want it at McDonald's, though. Would you? You wouldn't have it there, Chris. I know you wouldn't. No, I wouldn't want it there because it's not.
Well, actually, I didn't have a reception.
Yeah, I think I'd prefer not to have one than have it at McDonald's.
I just went home for a curry after we got married.
Did you?
And then off to the Maldives the day afterwards.
Oh,
yeah, so
see,
we
there
spent
you go,
everything on that. So,
I've seen the pictures, Chrissy. And also this week, a 92-year-old woman was feeding the birds when a seagull swooped down and took her dentures from her. So Renee was sitting outside her retirement home in Sussex and had taken her teeth out to eat some biscuits when a seagull swooped in. And I first thought, why would she take her teeth out when she's eating biscuits?
She's probably dunking them. But it's true, yeah, you do need your well, I don't know, I don't have dentures, but I thought you need your teeth to eat.
That's what I thought. With any form of food, I thought you
anyway, each to their own, so she took them out.
But then I thought maybe she's like softening it with her saliva and then like swallowing it. I don't know. Why do I think that far?
It's true, you really overanalyse things, don't you? So
I need to work out what was the reasoning behind it.
You just ask these questions that you wouldn't really think of normally.
I have fun getting these stories every week. And the manager, Linda Stevens, said poor Renee came in crying her eyes out and absolutely distraught, having lost her teeth. We can't help but laugh.
I wonder what the seagull did.
No, but what happened afterwards? Stop laughing now. Luckily, her carers, Melanie and Jill, found a ladder and climbed the ladder and managed to get her teeth back from the seagull. So they pried the seagull's teeth open and took the teeth out.
The beak, I don't think they have teeth.
The beak. The beak thing.
I think we have to do these little videos of you saying these weird things.
I know, there's been a few of them. So they fried the seagull's
Do seagulls
beak.
have teeth? Just, you know,
I don't.
They have little
They do have
clippers,
teeth,
maybe.
little ones, don't they?
I don't know. And does anyone know? No, they don't. They don't know. Definitely don't.
Do they not have teeth? I thought they had little ones. Get it on now.
Well, no, the thing is, you say things that sound so convincing, I start to think, do they actually?
I make myself believe it too. I thought they had little tiny ones. We'll find out after the show. And so, moving on. Liz Dias has opened, oh, you might like this one, Chris.
Yeah.
So in Devon, Liz Dias has opened a cat cafe and has become Britain's first cat cafe owner. So how it works is customers pay an hourly fee that allows them to relax with a drink and stroking a cat. They get like a little cat next to them and they just stroke it as they drink.
Like
what?
A cat cafe, like they will go, the cat is for the cats, they'll go in and they'll serve the cat stuff. No? This is going to be such a weird show today, I'm telling you. Because that's what I thought, you know, a cat cafe. I thought, it's this place where I was thinking of Nina taking
What,
her,
where the
like,
cats go?
The cats go and they get served stuff that they like and like they just play around.
Bad as me, Chris. Oh, well, there you go. You've got an invention there, Chris.
That's my idea. No one can do it. It's patented already. I'm going to contact them tomorrow. Yeah.
So, no, it's not for the cats. It's for humans to have the cats next to them. So Liz has been working with animals for about 25 years now. She's done a lot of research into it, and she says that positive contact with them has a great therapeutic value as well. And in Tokyo, they've got 39 cat cafes, and the UK is now starting to pick up the trend. Liz says one of the cats, Lilac, does have a reputation as a bit of a thief, and she went off with a lady's purse recently. I have to stop laughing with this bit. So the animal welfare charity Cats Protection think it's not a very good idea, and they believe that this kind of environment is not suitable for domestic cats, and they think it will stress the cat out with people continually coming in and out and changing groups of people. So they think it's not a very good idea, and it's not.
I went to the Cats Protection. We did some filming there once actually, and they have like volunteers that will just go there and spend like a few hours, and they just go and spend time with the cats and stuff like that. So. Yeah, there's that option as well if people want to be close to cats.
Yeah, that's true. Where was that at?
Cats Protection.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember the area we're in, but they're all over the place. So
probably for the same reason then, wasn't it? Okay, then. So I've got some. I asked our Facebook friends for their funniest pet stories. Amanda says, my dog Lucy sat so close to the open fire, she set her tail on fire. God. She rolled around to put it out, and then what did she go and do? She went back and sat in front of the fire again. Oh, bless her.
Cats are a little
and there
bit
was a
silly,
photo as well of her.
Sometimes, aren't they?
Have we got a picture of Lucy?
No, never mind. Oh, she got her tail burnt.
No, just like there was a picture of the cat.
Okay, never mind.
Of the dog, sorry. Anyway, so.
You said a cat.
Did I say cat again?
Yeah. Was it a dog?
It was a dog, yeah. So
that's an unusual thing for a dog then to go and do the same thing.
That's probably why they can't find the photo. They're like looking for a cat.
Confused them.
Sorry.
Okay.
So Craig says, I was lying on the couch playing a video game and my rabbit, Dust Bunny, comes running from the kitchen at full speed to jump on me. And there's me thinking my sweet bunny will land on my stomach and demand grooming. She totally overshoots her target and she hits the wall. And luckily there was a pillow there, so she managed to crash into it. And that's his rabbit, Dust Bunny. And one final one from Andrew, who says, one time when my mum and grandma and I went to Toys R Us, we heard over the tannoys that a dog just walked into the store, and if it was anyone's dog. So out of courtesy, we walked to the front of the store and saw that it was our dog, Chancey, and he'd squeezed out of the window and followed us in the store. And he says that we were shocked he was able to get out. But anyway, Chancey got to ride around in the car until we left in Toys R Us.
Yes. Oh, you got to keep an eye on him, don't you?
I know, it's shocking, isn't it? I wonder how he got out of the car. Dogs do unusual things. They're very clever though, aren't they? We'll find out more, won't we, in the show.
They're just unpredictable. I can't remember if I mentioned on the show about my friend's cat.
You didn't mention it.
She used to kind of sit on the it's like a little bedroom balcony, and he used to just sit there, and she used to let him out and stuff, just to sort of just be there in the sunshine and stuff. And then a bird flew past, and he just jumped.
Oh, really?
He just jumped, and it's like a three-story building.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, the poor thing. He broke a tooth. He was in a bad way. He was in like the pet hospital for a little while.
Oh no.
But they just don't think, do they? Just
No,
see a
just
bird.
saw
Like
the
my
bird.
cat does that. I don't. She doesn't go outside.
Where was the bed? On the windowsill?
No, it was on the actual wall. It was like a little wall there where her bedroom
okay.
was, and he just pelted off. He just jumped after this bird, and that was it. Then he
no.
was like there on the poor little thing. He was a bit traumatised afterwards.
I bet that stopped him from doing
But I
that
don't
again.
think dogs would do something like that, would they? They would? Okay, I've got the dog expert over here nodding and saying. Well, anyway, if you do have any questions for our expert, Caroline, after the break, she'll be answering them. You can give us a call on 020 7686 6300. You can also email on chris@chrissybshow.tv. So do join us after this. Thank you, Bianca.
You're welcome.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to our Man's Best Friend show, and we're talking all about dogs today. And if you have any questions you would like to ask, maybe there's something that your dog's doing that you're not sure how to help him or her, so do give us a call on 020 7686 6300. You can also email chris@chrissybshow.tv. And here to help us today, we have Caroline Spencer and also her gorgeous little doggy, Truffle.
Little Truffle.
Hello, how are you, darling?
She's doing very well. She's
I was talking to
taking
you.
it like a dog. I do apologise.
That's okay.
You've been talking to the dog all
I
afternoon.
know, yeah.
That's
I've been leaving you out, haven't I? But it's okay. Hello, darling. How are you?
Yeah, she's doing very nicely, thank you. So am I.
Okay. So it's really nice to meet you. So you're going to be helping our viewers tonight, aren't you?
Yes, as best.
So that's what you do?
I can. That's what I do. Yeah, I teach people how to understand their dog from the inside out. You know, dogs have behavioural problems, and the biggest reason is because there's confusion. The dog doesn't understand where we're coming from. You know, it's a two-way street. You know, there's a two-way conversation going on.
Yeah.
We're so busy asking dogs to sit, stay and heel and forget there's actually a brain in there that needs to work. Dogs are desperate for us to understand them, and they're desperate to
Is that what?
understand
Tell us
us.
the title, the name of your company.
Yeah,
that
why
you
does
have.
my dog do that? The book I've just written.
Oh, the book, okay.
Yeah. Sorry, were you?
The dog
did you ask
listener.
me?
You said the dog
Oh,
listener.
Pure Dog Listener.
Pure Dog Listener.
Yeah, Pure Dog
So that's
Listener.
quite an interesting title.
Listening. Listen to what the dogs, but they don't talk. So really, I suppose it's a bit of a dog watcher.
Yeah.
Because it's what they do, and when a dog gets it wrong, it's not what you say, it's what you do in response that is so important. She's getting her knickers in a twist, aren't she? This is my new.
She's going to say, "Do I wear
my
knickers?"
new girl. But very interestingly, dogs, they try and communicate all the time with you with eye contact.
Yeah.
They're trying to work you out. Now, dogs, very much like humans, have got a left side gaze. When you look at somebody, you naturally look to the right-hand side of their face. And it's been scientifically proven that dogs do that as well. And chimps, who are our closest relative, they don't do that. So there's a massive connection between human and dog, and we've forgotten how to communicate as dogs. They live a very, very simple, straightforward life with very simple boundaries, and we just complicate it by being human. And this is when they start having behavioural problems.
Okay.
They're not born with them, we make them.
So I mean, as we're saying, you do deal a lot with dogs that have got these behavioural problems, and there's a video that we'd like to show you as well. It's a dog that we I would say interviewed, but we filmed last year, called Toby, and I did make the mistake of calling him a naughty little dog in the video, but obviously he's not, because you said there's no such thing.
He's just confused.
He's just confused. All right, but let's take a look and see what advice you can maybe. Obviously, I know you haven't got the whole picture. You're just going to see his behaviour. Then it would need a lot more time for you to help him. But you can give some sort of a few tips for our viewers that maybe have got an aggressive dog. So let's take a look at the video. Hello, well, I'm just about to meet up with a friend of mine and her naughty little dog called Toby. Now, we're going to see if our experts can actually help with his behaviour problems. So let's go inside and find out. Hello. Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
And here's Toby. Okay, so we see already. Hi, Toby. How are you? So we can see already that he's quite excited. So Carla, how old is Toby?
Toby is 3 years old and he's going to be 4 in September.
Okay. And has he always been like this, like growling at people and stuff like that?
Yes, ever since he was young, he's been like this. Since we got him from a friend of ours in Namibia, and he's been like this ever since then.
And now I see he's got a muzzle on, and I know you keep it on like when you go out when there's other people around. Does he actually bite people?
He does. He has, in several cases, bit our friends.
Really?
He has bitten our friends. Yes.
Toby. Toby. Oh. Toby.
Did you see what I mean? Yeah, that's it. That's his reaction.
Okay.
So you can see what it's like. If he's really, really upset, he doesn't even know who he's biting. He bites anyone, even though the owner, myself, he will bite.
So as you can see, Toby does have a few behavioural problems, and we'd like to get to the bottom of why he's like this. Now, thankfully, the owners obviously are responsible when they do keep the muzzle on him when he's out in public, but it would be nice for him not to have to use the muzzle all the time and just be generally a friendlier dog. So, experts, what can you do to help him? Okay, so that was Toby's. Now, I made some fundamental mistakes there, didn't I? Which you were telling me.
You did indeed.
Yeah.
Truffle wasn't too happy with that either.
Yeah, she got a bit upset, bless her.
Down there, had a little growl.
Yeah.
You walked into the room. This dog is fearful. You look straight into his eyes. Now, how does that dog know your friend or foe? As far as he's concerned, he's so fired up with adrenaline, he thinks she's staring at what's going to happen next. But if you stare at anybody for any length of time, like if I just continually stare at you, at some point you have to drop the eye contact.
Well, I'm quite good at a staring game, actually.
We'll try later.
We won't play it now, so we haven't got time.
So yeah, a very, very fearful dog, obviously very protective over its owner. Now, I don't know how long ago this aggression started. She got the dog when it was quite young. It's moved from one country to another, obviously been in quarantine. In 3 years, he's had an awful lot go wrong in his life, an awful lot of what he didn't understand. And he's having to deal with everything himself because the owner inadvertently has given him a position of, yeah, you deal with that because I can't. He's taking control of all these situations that he finds scary, and she's just standing back saying, oh, he bites and barks. He bites her because when you're fired up with adrenaline, you don't think straight. You know, say if my daughter was about to put her hand over something that was really hot, I'd knock her away, trying to keep her safe and say, get out of there, I'm dealing with this numpty, don't worry about it. But that dog is terrified. Aggression comes out of fear, and in actual fact, statistics show that 32% of dog owners have been bitten by their own dog.
Wow.
And even more scary is that this study shows that 92% of vets have been at some stage worried about dogs' aggressive behaviour.
Gosh.
But it's only because we get it wrong for them. We treat them like human beings, expect expect them to fit into our world and be human. You know, a dog is a dog. We have to show, it's not what you say to a dog, it's what you do. Dogs feed off our body language all the time, but humans feed off body language too. So if my verbals didn't match my body language, you would take my body language over what I said every single time. Imagine, dogs don't talk, they take body language to the 100th degree. That's all they know. They haven't swallowed an English dictionary, French or German, but they do learn words. They're bright little beasties. Yeah. But yeah, there is hope for that little fellow, but I don't know if it started as a little puppy, but it's a case of working. There's an awful lot more wrong with just aggression. You know, there'll be lots of other behavioural problems. We need to sort out the little ones, build his confidence in his owner, build some trust in there, so he can start leaning on her and trusting her decisions rather than thinking, this is really scary, what's going to go, are you doing anything? No, you're not, therefore I'll bite the next person.
See, for someone from the outside that doesn't understand dogs, for example, I would probably just think he's just not being very friendly. I'm used to dogs, other dogs being friendly, but it's not. I wouldn't have sort of connected that he was actually afraid. Absolutely, because he doesn't look afraid. If someone's trying to bite me, I wouldn't think. If you came into my house and my daughter was in there, and you just marched up to my daughter, looking at her like that, she'd probably go, "What's this woman on?" You're not respecting personal space. You also put your hand out to touch the dog. How's that dog know you're not going to hit it? It doesn't know you from Adam. You know, there is no... And the thing is, the dog doesn't trust the owner either. We need trust and a bond and friendship built on all those things. There's no point telling a dog, sit, stay, heel, don't do that, because all you're doing is joining in. The dog says, "Oh, you're backing me up now, are you? Thank you very much." Oh, yeah. It's like when dogs bark, you know, someone knocking at the door, the dogs go, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa," and you'll say, "Oh, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet." You know, it's just like, "Oh, thank you," joining in. But all you need to do... So that's why it just carries on, doesn't it? It just carries on. It's great, one big bum fight. So just say, acknowledge the fact he's barked. "Hey, good boy, thank you very much." And we take him away behind us or back into another room, saying, "You don't have to be here to deal with this. I'm a big girl, I'll deal with it for you." So, but with a dog like that, if someone's coming into the home, the dog is terrified. The dog needs to know that the owner is there for it. So the owner says, "Someone knocking at the door, that's, hey, good boy, come on." And another member of the household be in another room with the dog and just hold it and massage the neck while someone else answers the door. So the dog doesn't have to be there. Because if he's there, you said, "I want you here because I need backup." Yeah. It doesn't need to be there. You can do that on your own. We expect so much of dogs. We expect them to understand our every thought. Eating truff. And they don't. She just wants a little... Caroline, we've got a few questions from our viewers. Sorry, I'm yakking on. No, it's fine, because we need to go to a break. No, it's good that you yak. I want my guests to talk on the show. It's a good thing. So we're going to go to a quick break now, and after the break, Caroline's going to be answering some of your questions. So make sure you stay tuned, and if you'd like to give us a call, if we have time, we'll take your call on 020 7686 6300. Join us after this.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back, and just before we hear Caroline's advice for the emails that we've had through, let's take a look at this video of Battersea Dogs and Cats Home. I'm here with Claire from Battersea Dogs and Cats Home, and she's going to tell us a bit about what they do here. Hi Claire, thanks so much for letting us come here today. So tell me, what do you do here?
Well, Battersea Dogs and Cats Home has been around for about 152 years now, and we've been helping to reunite lost dogs and cats with their owners. And if we're unable to do that, then we'll care for them until we can find them a new home. And on site, between here and our other two sites in Old Windsor and Brands Hatch, we have about 150 cats and about 450 dogs, so big operation. I mean, if they fall into the wrong hands, then any dog can be trained up in poor behaviours, which we don't want. For staffies, we have so many of them here. They're our main breed, but they just make the most fantastic pets. So we just want to encourage people to consider them as a family pet.
You're so cute. You're just too cute for your own good. Yeah.
We have a really good kennel enrichment program here at the home where the dogs have a variety of different senses that they can experience. So we're helping to turn a really sort of static environment into a nice dynamic one by providing new smells, different sounds, just a sort of stimulation of their psychological health as well as their physical health as well. Something we use in our kennel enrichment program is the use of peanut butter and Marmite, 'cause the dogs really love it. It's, it's a very strong smell and it can keep them occupied for quite a while. So anything that we can do to make the animals' lives better is fantastic. So if anybody out there is looking to donate something, these are the things we need.
Okay, you actually put them in cones for the dogs for them to...
Yeah, we have these very durable toys called Kongs, and we can stick them inside that, maybe a teaspoon or something lined on the inside, and it just can keep them going for quite a while.
It's great what you're doing here, and if you guys do want to help, please do get in touch. The website's on your screen now. There's lots of different ways that you can help, so please do get in touch and help these lovely dogs and cats out. Okay, so let's get some questions through to Caroline. Ready, Caroline?
I am indeed.
Okay, so
Not to mention I've got a yellow dog rather than a black dog now.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah,
Truffle got very stressed out with the aggressive dog on telly. So this is Piper, who's 10. Yes, and he's just going to lay down. He had a bit of a conversation with the tree yesterday, so he's got a bit of a cut eye, but
bless him.
This is I'm okay.
You can just about see his head on the screen.
Yeah, where are you? There you are.
All right. Okay, so let's get through some of these questions. So this one's from Paula, and she says, I love my dog so much, but she pees everywhere, especially when I come home or someone comes to visit. There are pee puddles everywhere. What can I do?
Bless her cotton socks. You know, this dog is obviously suffering from some sort of separation anxiety. I'm wondering if she actually pees when the owner's out or whether she's just coming straight in. She just said when she comes in. So relieved to see her owner back. All her bits and pieces just relax. It's, oh, here. But then you've got visitors coming in. So a different scenario there completely. Visitors bend down, stroke dog. Dog's a little bit anxious and wheeze. The best thing to do when you come in is walk with an anxious dog is walk through, don't give the eye contact. When the dog is settled, then you call the dog to you. So
what if the dog follows you though?
If the dog follows you, you carry on, make your cup of tea. The dog will have a little sniff around your ankles, and then it'll probably just go back to his bed or what have you. And then you call the dog to you. And then, especially if it's a visitor coming in, because a visitor going in, straight back down there and give it a cuddle. It's a big deal for a dog. But it'd be interesting to know if this dog is following its owner around all the time in the house, from room to room. Whether they're settled in one room and the owner gets up. Because generally, when we get up, we're going somewhere. And we're going up to go to the loo, we're going to work, we're going, to make a cup of tea or what have you. So, and that becomes a trigger for the dog, right, you need me with you. And because you leave the doors open, you're saying, dog, I need you with me because I'm not comfortable in my own skin. If we only just shut our doors, even for 15 seconds between manoeuvres, we're showing the dog, I don't need you with me. But if you're going to be in that room for any length of time, then you can open the door and you're saying, hey, you can come in if you want. So the dog doesn't get... We need the dog to be comfortable in his own skin with or without you. And if you're in the house all the time and the dog has access to you all the time without these little tiny full stops, then when you're gone, the dog thinks, but I'm not with you, I can't cope without you.
So he gets anxious.
So he gets really, really anxious. It's lovely for dogs to be with us. And, you know, Piper comes from room to room with me, but there's always just a shut door. Just to say, I don't need you, but you can come in if you like.
Okay,
so,
then.
yeah, it's a sign of anxiety.
Okay, so we've got another one here. Let's see. My dog keeps pulling on her lead when I first take her for a walk. She only heels once she's knackered. How can I make her listen? She's a 2-year-old boxer. And that's from Raffaello in London.
Right, okay. Generally, when we put the lead on a dog, it's all systems go. So they're up in gear 10 before you even got out the front door. We need, again, to drop triggers. The dog goes, hey, it's a walk, and off you go, bombing out down the drive. And yeah, it's very easy to walk back home generally, because you say the dog is tired. But going out, if the dog is pulling, it's hurting himself, it's hurting you. It wants to get to the park quicker. It knows the quicker it takes you there, the quicker it's going to be off lead. So you're going at your dog's speed, you're going at your dog's direction, you're doing exactly what your dog has said. The important thing with walking is stopping is as important as, and going in the direction of your choice. This is why I use the Happy at Heel harness, which is attached around the side of the dog. So dog pulls forward, it's guided round to face you, and you go off in your direction. So you're saying to the dog, this is my speed, my walk will go my way. So you end up, you know, the dog doesn't end up hurting itself and you don't end up at the chiropractor. You have to do it at your speed. Otherwise the dog is just going to pull more and more and more and more. And he's not going to look at you. And also the trouble is that when we're at home, we're always looking at the dog in the eyes saying, oh, you're fantastic, you're lovely. When we go out for a walk, there is no eye contact, no communication going on whatsoever. So there's an awful lot more that you can do to help the walk by working with your dog inside with various other exercises, which again are in the book that I've written.
So you wrote this book, Why Does My Dog Do That?
Do that?
So what does it cover? Like everything about dogs' behaviour?
It covers... Basically what I teach is how to create a foundation of trust with your dog. He's having a good old sniff. Who's been here before? It's how to tap into what your dog is doing, why he's doing that, and how we correct it. But dogs don't talk. It's what we do, not what we say, that's so important. So when a dog is getting it wrong, we guide them. We guide them through life. I'm not going to be a bossy sit, stay and heel or do as I tell you sort of person. I want the dog to be able to fit into my world naturally. So I don't use any buckets of food rewards or clickers or anything like that. It's all natural based. It's how I am rather than what comes out of my mouth. I know I talk an awful lot, but to dogs I don't generally have verbal diarrhea. And again, you cannot, it's like going back with the walk, you know, you need to start off with a dog with low adrenaline or it's not going to learn anything. So it's an awful lot of relaxing your dog before you start any exercise, whether it's recall, and getting a dog to come to you. It's pressure for a dog because generally when we're at home, they walk past, they get a tickle. Again, they're asking for it, they get it. They're saying jump and you say how high. So it's just turning the tables, showing you how to turn the tables very gently so you have a stress-free life and so does your dog, and it can relax whatever goes on in your world. You're settling down a little bit. This is very strange.
She's very calm. He's very calm. I think we've got time for maybe one more quick one just before the break. Let's see, my dog gets so overexcited and as soon as she sees me, she jumps all over me and barks. This is fine and I love it, but it goes on for so long that I have to tell her off and then I feel guilty. How can I get her to calm down a bit? This is Patricia from Finsbury Park.
One little attention seeker I think we've got here. And the thing is, if you, they're trying to get your little dog jumping up, trying to get your eye contact, and you say get down, he's got you. Yeah. He's got your attention. So
just ignore him.
Well, yeah, but that's what he's going to get. He'll just carry on and it'll get worse and worse and worse. If you say, it's like a little child who bugs you, mummy, 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 mummy. And if you say, yeah, that's enough, whereas if you just put it behind. Children are so similar to dogs, little children. And the thing is with a really bouncy, pingy dog who's saying, talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. If you defer to that dog rather than talk to the person that you're supposed to be talking to, that dog goes, "Oh, I'm very special." So you walk into the dog.
Dogs are so funny. They're very smart. We
just walk straight into that dog because if the dog can jump up and push us out of the way, he's taken our ground. Well, I'm not going to be pushed around. I'm not going to be bullied.
So the best way is ignore your
and walk
bouncing
through it.
dog and just.
But the most important thing also, he's going to wander off and go and see Truffle. The most important thing, once your dog is settled, you've walked through him, you've shown him, I'm not going to talk to you if you're going to be rude. When he is settled, call him over. So he gets everything when he's good, but when he's getting bad, we're putting him gently, quiet, in a way he understands, rather than this human, don't do that, because he says, I got your attention.
Okay, so that's great advice, Campbell. We have to go to a quick break.
Yeah, sorry.
After the break, we're going to be speaking about why some people prefer the company of dogs rather than the friends and family around them. So we're going to be talking about some great, just if he's off over there.
Hi.
Okay, so do join us after this.
Looking.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to the show, and now we are going to cover a few points that we can actually learn from dogs. So the first one is dogs are quite easily trained, or they like to learn, they like to be trained, and sometimes people don't, and that's not a very good thing, is it? Because there are sometimes people that are so stuck in their ways, they don't want to try anything new, they don't want, if someone tries to maybe show them or suggest a better way of doing something, they just dig their heels in. They say, no, I've done it this way for years. This is how I am, the classic.
Yeah.
This is how I am. This is the person that I am, and I'm not going to change for anyone.
Yeah, and the dog's got to fit into what I do, not the other way around.
So it's not a good thing. We as human beings, we also have to take a lesson from a dog and say, okay, actually I can learn new things. I can develop as a person. Why should I just stay as I am? So that's something we can learn from a dog. Also, dogs are fun. Right? They like to go out, they like to run, they like to have fun. Sometimes people don't take a break and they're very grumpy, they let a lot of things get to them. So that's another lesson we can learn from a dog, that we can just relax sometimes, have fun, don't get so stressed about life, and, you know, just behave like a dog sometimes. Not pee on anyone or anything.
Yeah, absolutely. But what you do find, if you've got very hyper-stressed owners, you end up with a hyper-stressed dog.
Oh, do you?
So actually, to have a dog and know how to de-stress a dog helps de-stress the owner. And dogs don't learn like humans. We need to teach
differently
the dog the way it understands, not the way us humans want to teach a dog. Yeah. And, you know, I started off training, it was very sit, stay and heel, do this, do that and do the other. But you don't get the best out of a dog doing it that way, because it's doing stuff because you've asked it to. But I want the dog to be able to relax and then say, I trust you, I love you dearly, hey, what should we do together? What should we learn today? You cannot teach a dog to sit and stay and do this and do that if it's fired up on adrenaline. So the most important thing I teach people is how to relax your dog first. Smells like the studio's on fire.
I know, there's something burning, isn't there? Oh, yeah, there's a lamp just burnt behind there. I have no idea why. Okay, the studio's on fire, but let's try and quickly finish let's try and finish the show before that. Okay. Yeah, anyway, that hasn't happened before on the show. Okay, let's just quickly move on. Right, dogs are very loyal. I hope the alarms aren't going to go off. Dogs are very loyal. Am I right? Are they loyal?
They are very loyal, and the thing is, they put up with us being humans. We get so much stuff wrong with dogs, and I'm surprised there aren't many more dog bites, but they put up with us and they go, oh, you human being, I love you dearly, but you're a bit of a numpty every now and again.
But sometimes human beings don't do the same. For example, why do we get so many broken relationships nowadays? Because as soon as for some people, as soon as a sign of a little problem, people say, okay, I'm going to go and cheat on my husband or wife. I'm just going to, they don't try and be, you know, sometimes even people are married and they've made their wedding vows and there's no loyalty whatsoever.
Yep.
Or it could be to friends, it could be to, you know, to
Yeah.
colleagues at
You
work.
need
There's
to,
no...
any relationship you have, you need to work at it, whether it's with an animal or another human being.
Yeah.
There's a, you know, with a two-way conversation going on between two people and a owner and its dog. Understand from the other person's or other animal's point of view. And you can start mending things, but we're so busy, oh, that hasn't worked, I'll go into something else.
But dogs aren't like that. They just
dogs aren't like that.
asleep here.
Dogs are honest.
Yeah.
There's not a nasty bone in a dog's body. They just want to be there to be your friend, to be your companion. Just communicate the way they understand, and they're just going to ooze trust and love.
See what you can learn from a dog?
You can learn a huge amount from a dog. Learn how to relax.
Especially as well, our studio's still on fire, but especially, of course, we're going to finish in a couple of minutes. I can't believe this happened. I told you it would be an interesting show today, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, so very quickly, dogs listen, right? So some people, they have a very hard time listening to another human being, and they just want to talk and talk and talk and not actually listen or communicate.
And what perfect beast than a dog.
But dogs listen. Now we have to finish because our set's on fire. So we'll see you again next time. It's getting a bit hot in here. So if you do want more information about the show, you can visit chrissybshow.tv. Thank you so much, Caroline.
Thank you, Chrissy. It's been great.
Shall we get out of the studio?
I think we better do that.
Okay, bye-bye, everybody.
Or we could wait for these hunky firemen to come in.
Standing up. Oh, it's hard, isn't it? So by building it up, it makes it a little bit more easier for people to learn. So. Thanks.
Okay, so we'll just do the next question.
You ready? So leaning forward and up and over, where you go. There we go.
Hold on, let me do that again. So you want to swing your leg nice
Put this hand here. Will be better. All right. Yeah, you can hold on if it makes you more comfortable. Right, you ready? Yeah. And away you go. 1, 2, 3. Go. Yeah, that was good. Well done. Super.